The three most important rules in boxing, if you ever want to learn this thing and practice it like it's no tomorrow, these rules will determine if you're ever going to learn this thing good enough to actually use it. If you have to, and I want to go over all of these three rules about learning the skill of boxing, because this is what we're running into as we're leading into a major event in the sport. I'm going to break down one of the questions that continues to pop up is how long do I need to practice this? Or how many reps during the day do I need to do this? And so I'm going to get directly into this. So thanks for taking the time to watch. We're going to get into it. And yeah, I'm going to get a little animated because boxing helped me build my personal brand. Because before you get into life itself, you're just some kind of kid flailing around and not being clear about what you are, who you are. But what boxing did is it gave me a sounding board to be conscious of what I truly do great and what is my actual promise to the world. So thanks for allowing me to use the platform. And we just crossed over 760,000 over here on Meta. And I appreciate that, the ability to learn. So for those of you who really love boxing, I'm about to show you something, and I'm going to show you how to get to a point where you're able to do things like this by understanding the basics of boxing. Because really what you just saw demonstrated by Michael Tyson was not some advanced move. It was a basic move that was done in a manner in which he's mastered the basics so good. It's not hard work. So we're going to show you a couple of those drills. And if you follow this, I guarantee you'll master the sweet science of boxing. So where we're going is the three rules, and I'm going to give you all three rules. So make sure you have something that you can use, your phone or your second phone, or get a little index card and a pen to write on if you want to learn. And let me know exactly where you're watching from. Check in and holler at your boy. And I want to get down exactly who's watching and where you are from. So over on Instagram, let me see you shout out, and over on Metaverse and Facebook, holler at your boy. So here we go. Once you do this, you'll feel so much better. Now, for those of you who are really new and don't know who I am, I'm fourth, 4 decades in this game. I'm third generation passed down. So I was born into the game as a coach, and I got the likes to work with over 40 champions. And I'm being very modest with that number because it doesn't stop. I'm working with champions currently, advising and giving them help building how they impact the industry in a much different way than just getting inside of the ring. So my company's evolved from teaching, training, coaching, running a gym, to now advising and coaching and teaching them how to build their own brands and get leverage deals and sponsorships. And that's what I do now. So I love the fact that it gave me an identity in the sport. So now let's go through the three rules. Enough about that. And welcome to those of you who are just joining. We actually had a brand new subscriber this morning, and I'm going to give him a shout out. But it's just a constant thing. But one of the things you guys want to know about boxing, rule number one is you have to build your base first. And why is it that you see Mike Tyson doing something that nobody still has not mastered? Even when you see people copycat, it's still not like Mike, right? I've seen a guy really do it really good. He came very close. The thing about it is, I know he's doing those things just for the camera. So I know there's no longevity with it because he has too much muscle. And that's another thing. You have to be careful about how much muscle you're building. You can't believe how many people think weight training is a part of boxing, and it's not. Sugar Ray Robinson didn't weight train. Jake LaMotta didn't weight train. Rocky Marciano didn't train with weights. These guys understood that the body's dexterity, which is the fluidity of the way you throw punches, is all based upon how loose the muscles are. not how tight the muscles are. Now, if you want to be a bodybuilder, hey, do your thing. But rule number one is to build your base. So what I'm going to do now is take a page directly out of this skills training guide, the one that continues to pop in front of you, and you continue to try to find another reason not to have it. But you're just never going to, because this is the Bible of boxing. So the first thing that we teach is the box step, because that helps you build your base. And from there, this is just typically on Monday, but Tuesday, we're going to show you exactly how to do what we call a drop and roll pivot. And this prevents you from needing to do a lot of explosive movements and make a move just so dynamic and fresh and crispy. So this is one of our guys, Primo, who actually was just such a sweet looking boxer with the way he did things. So check it out. And this is us in the ring and in our Masterful Footwork series. Here, back, in here, back, here, back, here, back, here, and then back. Good. That's how you do that. What goes along with that is what we call the drop and roll. The drop and roll is where we pivot, go under a shot. Drop, roll. See, the bottom line is these are the techniques. Special shouts out to Antoine Baby Tyson, who actually was dominating and doing these kind of things in national tournaments and coming away with the fighter of the tournament and the title. So when you think about this, that drop and roll move is just something that makes you so elusive. Sweet Pea was a master at it. You could see it a lot of the amateur tournaments and the programs up in Norfolk. From Norfolk on up, you're going to see great boxing, great skills, places that had people like Purnell, Frankie Randall. And then you move a little further north. I'm talking a couple of inches. And then you have Keyshawn Davis, Kevin Davis, and all of the great footwork artists that you understand and know about. Go about 3 minutes further, you got Tank. And of course, he has explosive footwork that sets you up. And all of these guys operate off of the pivot. And it doesn't mean anything if you don't understand rule number two. Number two, if you saw me doing this drill with this young man, he was 6'1.5", and he's making moves that most tall fighters don't make. And he made it look so smooth. And that's what I want you guys to realize. When you do it so good, it's not because you learn all these advanced moves. It's because you learn rule number two. And rule number two is don't do it until you get it right. You do repetition until you can't get it wrong. Boom. And that's where a lot of you are failing. You're so enamored with going, and when this is what's happening to some of you are getting into that 52-week skills training guide. You're seeing all of these workouts, but they are according to days. So stop moving ahead, stay on that day, because when you stay on that day, you can look like this when you're making these moves, because this is what it allows you to look like. Boom. You see that spool pa, that side step? Boom. That's a drop step. Boom. You off to the side. And Tyson fought in the Peekaboo squared up all the time. He trained that way. He operated that way. And when you watch him, I'm going to show you another drill that'll help you really understand how much the rules change as you get better at boxing and you've gotten to a place where you're mastering this science. I love this thing. And I know some of you are commenting, I can't get to it right now, but I definitely will thank you guys and give you guys a shout out. What's going on, Shannon Ashford? Shabazz from North Carolina. North Cac in that crib. What's up, North Cac? Let me see my man George. Geo from Scotland. George Blades. What's up, brother? It's good to see you. I have to shout my people out. Coach Harabber, coach, one of the School of Boxing coaches out there, and Woman Bull, and Aussie. Aussie's always in the building. And let me see my man George, the Last Skills Academy. That's what's up. I love representing you. Special shouts out to the Last Skills Academy. I love that. See, that's the voice of a teacher. You want teachers in your life. That's right. You can get that for typing skills. That'll come to your inbox, George. Go check your inbox and go follow that prompt. Open up to that page. You'll kill it. So this rule here shows you exactly what mastering, and I'm going to tell you what this drill is that Mike Tyson is doing. In our program, you learn it in day one. Watch this. You see that? See, that's just, those are what we call windshield wipers. You learn windshield wipers. You don't have to go learn a whole style of peekaboo. You learn this in the first week. Drop and roll your defense. You learning all kinds of slips. So let me count. I'm going to count the slips that you will learn immediately, okay? Because I don't want you guys to be misguided when you get to the gym and you think because you learn a slip this way and a slip that way that you've learned slips. No, this is the slip. This is the slips, and we teach you the right way to go about slips, because slips are different based on the skill, the style, the offensive attack. You can't slip the same way from a jab than you are from a hook. So you learn this slips, and this is the quarter slips, and these are the basic head slips. And then we got east side, west side slips, where I learned from Coach Tyrone Soul, who's one of my mentors, who got to work with a multitude. I don't know. He's probably over maybe 16, 17 world champion level fighters up there in Baltimore. So, you know, when he showed me this, I was like, yo, I got to use this. And he said, Ark. That's what he called me. Ark. That was before I got my reputation as coach. But Ark, here's what you do. East side, west side. And he do the mid work the same way. East side, west side. So all of you who have our mid training series, you hear me say east side, west, and I teach you that there's a different way. See, I'm learning from guys. I was learning from guys that were in the game for upwards of 50 years. So that's why I say always get around mentorship that's been there, done it, right? And now I'm at my 4th decade, and now I'm a professor. And so, hey, you follow the process, you get the crowns, and you start wearing the coins. So the next one is you have to understand how to actually do the forward slip. That means you dive into the smoke and it just grazes your ear. But you understand how to master that. Because remember rule number 2, you don't do it till you get it right. You do it until you can't get it wrong. Boom. Okay? And then windshield wipers. Windshield wiper slips, right? That's exactly what you just saw Tyson do. It's called a windshield wiper slip. Nothing fancy. Bam, bop, over and under. And that's what you guys call the peekaboo. That's not the peekaboo. That's a slip. That's called windshield wipers. It's not the peekaboo. The peekaboo is the ability to peep between your guard, whether your hands are up here or crossover like Archie Moore invented it. Okay, so that's the peekaboo. There you go, J. Marie. And then you got head pops, and head pops allows you to get into the smoke and deliver offense at any time, right? Bam. And when you're understanding how to use these skills, then you're able to do stuff like this. So, bam. You see the slickness of the footwork? Nice. Bam. See, it's all about just boom, strong base. Remember, he's 6'1".
Very good. And bang.
Bam,
Repositions you.
boom. You see that footwork, you see the balance and the strength. He built his base. He could move. And like I said, we get low center of gravity because rule number 3 will determine if you can even box at all. Because a lot of you are doing it for fitness. You're trying to get in shape. And so if you're going to do it right, you're going to find yourself looking like a real boxer. You go back and you look at the film of Sugar Ray Leonard. Look how lean his body was. There was no fat anywhere. That wasn't with weight training. He was pure T lean. You know, you see guys like Mayweather, he did some weight dumbbell lifting, but he didn't need to do that. That's just kind of what he did to implement into his fitness and physical regimen. But you guys have to also realize that there's a method in which you do these kind of training drills. And when we release our Power Junkie is a physical training boxing program. And the only thing you do is train the way a boxer needs to actually train, whether you're in camp or not. You don't need to do what you see these guys doing today if you want longevity in boxing. And that's what we're going to unveil to the world this season. We're going to unveil it to the world. So Power Junkie is the most elite training system for a boxer athlete. And why can I say that? Because I've been in the physical training world since 1988, 89, 90, and really got to a masterful place in 93. It's 2024. You can do the math. I don't have to count how many years I've been doing this, but I turned 55 the other day and I look like this, and it's not by chance. Okay. It's because I understand how to train the human body. I have no pain, no aches, nothing. All right. And so it's all about what you know about what you're talking about, period. And this is where you're going to learn these 3 things. And the third thing that you must know if you're going to actually learn and take boxing serious is number 3. And number 3 is the thing that changes every opportunity that you could ever possibly have in boxing. If you know number 3, and if you don't know number 3 and you get off of this feed right now, you will never master boxing. You will never master boxing. I can promise you this. So, lo and behold, number 3, in order to master the science of sweet science of boxing, this rule cannot be avoided. And no matter what you do, you can't overlook it. And this is one of the things that Tyson finally acquired over his career. He has it now. And that's humility. Okay. Did you notice that when I talked about this, I taught you about there are 3 phases that will require you to learn boxing. First, you get the exterior, and then you get the mind. See, the mind is the mindset. That's why we say you got to have an algorithm. And the algorithm is the manner in which you go in there fighting. You can go in there like a kitten, or you can go in there like a real cat, a tiger. Okay. A tiger is the most violent cat on the planet. The lion is the king of the jungle, but the tiger doesn't live in the jungle. So do your research. It's the biggest and it's the nastiest, the tiger. Now, when you start pulling this up, you're going to be like, dang, he really told the truth. I know when it comes down to animals, those are 2 phases. The third phase is internal. That's spiritual. That's what you do with that turmoil. If you got humility, you can overcome a moment where you are down. If you got the intestinal fortitude, you can overcome losing and you can come back. If you got the skills, that means you've got all 3 components to prevent you from losing. Because there are only 3 reasons why fighters lose. And I've put that video up more than 3 or 4 different times, and every time it does 1 million views. And the reason why that is because 1, Incompetency is always going to be the reason why most fighters do lose. In the corner, it's technical flaws or lack thereof of skills or knowing how to make an adjustment. That falls up under incompetency. Number two is the lack there of life skills, the actual physical component of your lifestyle. Over drinking, consuming, partying, anything that you put into your body, drugs, too many females or too many males, too much nightlife, too many weights on your regimen. It's always going to be about lifestyle. Number two. And number three is those of you who go into a fight with impulse and emotion. That is what we call EQ or lack thereof EQ. And that's emotional intelligence. You can't escape it. That's where humility will come into play. So if you do the thing right, you will really understand why we use the phrase master boxing. We were the first and we're truly the only that really make that about that we are really about that life. It's more than just a verb. It's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. It's the mindset. And it truly will help you really learn on an entirely different level because we don't just teach you the skills because skills don't pay the bills. Attention pays the bills. And you got to have attention on you because that's your brand. That's your promise to the world. People don't buy into the fighter's skill. People buy into the fighter's promise. You knew that Tyson was going in there and he was going to kick some ass. And that's why you tuned in because that was his promise. Everybody's going to understand if you're scared, you're going to be exposed because everybody had a plan until they got hit by him when he was in his prime. That was his promise. You knew not to go to the refrigerator. You knew not to go to the refrigerator when Mike Tyson fought. And so that's our lesson today. The three things that you must know to master the sweet science of boxing in the right manner. Now, tomorrow we're going to dive deep, but what my subscribers, like I said, my subscribers will be surprised and thankful to know that all of these that were just put in there were uploaded into our Facebook subscription. And special shouts out to our guy. He just signed in this morning to our Facebook subscription. Peter Demarest Jr. Welcome to the school. The subscription on Facebook. And you have that entire teaching that was just uploaded in there for you guys to learn the sweet science of boxing. And for those of you who like this, we're going to go into the next tier of showing you the real true transitional movements of the boxing. So stay tuned tomorrow as we go a little bit deeper in the sweet science of boxing. So thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. Special shouts out to all my brothers in the School of Boxing. Thanks again, and we'll see you all soon in the Winner Circle group over on Facebook. Peace out.